Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me here for the Taz Effect daily news in a way you did not know you could use. For those listening in over the radio airwaves, thank you for tuning in on GCPR.live. For those watching on Blue Sky, I see you coming through from the Discord, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Substack. Good afternoon. Hey, Michael Pruitt, glad you could make it to join us for today. Hey, April. Hey, Harley. Now, you all remember there were two quote unquote attacks on President Donald Trump Sr.'s life. Y'all remember that? Tazzy Farms remembers. Well, one went on to glory, either the upper room or the lower deck. We don't know. And then the other never actually took a shot, but he did stand trial and he was convicted. Hey, Turtle. Hey, Infernal. And that sentencing came down today. Okay. Here we go. Man who tried to shoot Trump at Florida golf course gets life in prison. Keep in mind, remember, he never took a shot. They just saw the setup, and here we go. Okay. And this man kept saying that's not what he was there for. Ryan Ruth, the man convicted of attempting to assassinate President Trump Sr. at his Florida golf course in 2024, has been sentenced to life in prison. The sentence came down Wednesday during a federal court hearing. It was presided over by Judge Eileen Cannon, yes, that Eileen Cannon, who dismissed the classified documents case against Mr. Trump Sr. last year. Routh appeared at the hearing wearing a tan-colored prison uniform with shackles around his ankles and handcuffed wrist. He remained stoic throughout the proceeding, which lasted about 90 minutes, mainly looking forward and at times conferring with his lawyer. I want to say the word. How can we, hey, Squishy, how can we get a conviction for someone who never took a shot? Didn't even have like a rifle set up with sights on Trump, no nothing. But people are afraid to impeach the fat of a miscreant human being. I was thinking Groundhog Day. Yeah. I mean, Trump does kind of resemble a groundhog. I'm just saying. Now, we do have a touch of good news. Okay, trying to kind of wet in Florida for gophers. I mean, he can hide under Melania. Word on the curb is she ain't been wet in decades. Too soon? Bazinga. Supreme Court lets California use congressional map that favors Dems. California can use a congressional map drawn to give Democrats an advantage in this year's midterm elections, the Supreme Court said February 4th in a decision that will make it harder for Republicans to keep control of Congress. The court declined a request from California Republicans, which was backed by the Trump administration, to block the map adopted by California voters in November at an initiative of Governor Gavin Newsom. Let me repeat. This was an initiative adopted by California voters. Whereas the first guy dead. That dead, y'all. Oh no. Yeah. He did. He did. He in somebody dirt. He was eating some worm somewhere. I'm just so casual about death. He did. keep telling you all that there are not as many people as the internet likes to make you think that actually support Trump. Let's think about some things, okay? Multiple people from the various factions of the GOP have come out saying that they don't back him. They've written books about the fact that they don't like him. Like, they've profited off of it. There are people who took early retirement, because we know the GOP doesn't retire. They just die. And these people are like, you know what? I might like my wife a little bit more than I originally thought. Let me go cozy up to this heifer real quick. Okay? Also, let us not forget about the amount of his own voter base, his own sycophants that he killed off due to lies and the lies they told one another during COVID-19. Then let's go into the amount of his voter base that cannot vote because of felonies. And let's also toss in the loudest, most boisterous supporters of him online. Come to find out, they're not a registered Republican. They have not voted in like 3 or 4 elections. People don't like him. They like what they can accomplish and what they can get off of his name. Whether they pretend to be reformed from the Republican Party or they pretend that they're ultra MAGA. Because here's the thing. It always bothers me. Hey, Annabelle. When somebody's like, oh, yeah, I was Republican for 30 years, and then because of Trump, I left the party. You don't have to leave the Republican Party in order to not support Trump. Leaving doesn't change. If you still align with one of the factions that makes up the Republican Party, why would you leave? Because where else are you going to align? You haven't gotten woke. So where are you going to go? This is why I said on Capitol Hill, when the voting is closed door, it doesn't go in Trump's favor. And the only reason it goes in his favor when it's public is because he likes the stupid and the violent. And the dumber someone is, statistically speaking, the more prone they are to violence because they don't have emotional regulation. Hey, DJ. And they don't know how to properly convey their frustration, their disdain, all of these things. It's not political grandstanding. It's not. No, political grandstanding, there's a goal at the end. Somebody gets something. Hey, SC, someone's agenda is being met that's doing the grandstanding. No, this is preservation. I think y'all forget about the judge who almost lost her husband, but lost her son because of a crazed Trump supporter. Hey, twin, I think y'all also forget the 2 politicians who were shot up like it was OK Corral. One lost her life alongside her husband and her dog. The other one's still alive because their daughter, who happened to be disabled, was quick thinking and saved everybody. I think y'all forget just how violent these people are because they've been taught this is the reckoning. You get to step into your birthright of white supremacy, that this skin that you're encased in is finally going to pay off. Because instead of becoming better people, instead of educating themselves, they spent all of their time blaming everyone else for their lack of success. And they have been told by the fat screw up himself and every sycophant that has their hand up his Bucci cat that this is your reckoning. But also keep in mind, remember last week, hey, Nana J, I told y'all, I said, keep in mind, I said, there's word on the street, there was a little word on the curb that some top GOP were afraid that ICE was going to turn on them and or Trump. And guess what's happening? Because these folks ain't been getting paid. So you can skim off of other people. You can put people in a no-win type of situation. Okay? Where they may or may not get paid. They may or may not get some stuff done. But when you're giving these people weapons and you've already given the narrative and made excuses for their behavior and you've justified it, oh, now they're shaking in their boots. ICE agents, because they have to pay back these ridiculous bonuses that they were promised if they quit. And even in some instances, even if they don't quit, under certain circumstances, they have to pay it back. If their reviews aren't impeccable, they got to pay the money back. All of these things. They're not getting their health insurance. They're not getting a lot of things. And now they willing to take the fat freak out. They yeah. They are beyond, and I mean beyond, sick of his stuff. But another reason why a lot of these people, when the votes are public, when they go to these town halls, they seem fearful. Have some patience. These are a little bit long, but I want you to listen to these. I'm going to remind you of the people who live amongst us, okay?
I made a website for reporting illegal immigrants, and sometimes people end up on the website thinking that it's real. And somebody wanted to report a man that they suspected to be an illegal immigrant that lives in their neighborhood. So I reached out to see if I could help.
There is one person who comes, non-English speaking. He'll come Saturday like a thief in the night at 10:30, 11:30 at night, and then leave Sunday and he's gone.
Okay.
And the light's always on.
They're using electricity in the home.
Yes.
And that is definitely suspicious.
Yes, and the light is always lit in the garage. The light stays on. We cannot see the basement section from our kitchen window. So
just not being able to see what the resident is doing inside their own home, that's what raises the suspicions.
Exactly. He will not speak to us. He ignores us. So when he comes and he sees us, he totally ignores us.
By him, you have a need to feel seen by him.
Yes. Sometimes he will bring packages, and he will leave with different packages.
Do you use Amazon yourself?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you've had different packages as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Once again, he might look at you, says, I don't know what you're doing in your home. She's got different packages. She is actually suspicious.
Well, he actually doesn't see our packages unless he sees them, unless he drives by the front of our home.
So you can actually see more of what he's doing than he can see what you're doing.
We're not nosy. We're not going to go around the property, around the diameter of the place and take a look at what's going on. We have never done that.
You would never. No, you would never do that. You would, however, report them to authorities to do that.
Yes. Why would anyone in Florida buy a property and not live in it? That's suspicious in itself. We heard a very, very loud noise one night. My boyfriend we heard a very loud bang. First thing he thought of was, gee, I hope they're not running a meth lab. So.
Mm-hmm. You know, people owning different homes and not always being in them 24/7, that raises a feeling of suspicion.
It raises suspicion with me. Why would you buy a $230,000 home and not live in it or not rent it out? Now let's be practical about it, because I don't know what this man is doing over there.
That's because you don't.
I'm not going to peek in his windows to see, but
that's good.
I've always been that way. I'll be nice to my neighbors, and that's it. You know?
No, it really does sound like you definitely mind your own business when you're not looking out the windows.
I prefer it that way. I prefer it that way.
We'd ask if you just don't look, don't bother, don't do anything. As soon as we gather some more information, it's going to be okay, and just be sure not to don't even look. Don't even look out the window.
No, certainly won't.
I have my own hotline for reporting illegal immigrants, and people call it thinking that it's legitimate. I talked to a kindergarten teacher that wants to deport the parents of a kindergartner at her school. And it looks like they have a child who was born in New York, which makes them an American citizen.
Yeah.
So we're looking to deport the parents and leave the child.
Right. Like I said, I don't know if they're here illegally. I just think it's odd, you know? It's very odd.
What did you say was odd?
It's just odd for them to even be here. Like, I'm a teacher at a school. Okay, I know schools. I know the whole law about schools. I mean, they seem like nice people or whatever, but I looked them up in our files, and I was like, oh, she was born in Honduras, and he's born in El Salvador. So right there, it's like, okay, maybe I'm on the right path. You know, they drop off their kid every day.
So their kid is their kid a student at your school?
Yes. Yes.
One of your
kindergarten.
Okay, so now you want to
get. Let's go, Taco. She's not odd. She's racist. We call things what they are around here. It's not an odd bird. That's a racist. Neighbor can't understand somebody getting an investment property, a rental property, or she can't imagine a brown or black person doing that. So she called in because she can't be nosy enough. Teacher illegally looking up information on parents because she was just wondering. Let me tell you the rest of that. Little boy makes it to school every day. Not a problem. Parents aren't a problem. Not a disruption. She literally just looked at those parents and was like, gotta be illegal. Let me look up. Oh, they weren't born here, so why are they here? Keep in mind that these are the same people who just 10, 20 years ago would talk your ear off about their mama or papa who came over from Poland or Italy and didn't speak a lick of English and had $15 in their pocket. These are the same people who love telling you their family's epic Ellis Island story. They love belonging to these legacy organizations. That the only way you could be a part of those legacy organizations is if you admit that you hail from immigrants. Daughters of the Confederacy, daughters of the Revolution. You have to be able to trace back your legacy to immigrants. This to prove that you're aligned to certain historical figures within the United States, within the history of this blood-drenched nation. Oh, I have the whole thing. I stopped it for the person who made the comment. We're going to get back to the teacher in a minute.
I have my own hotline for reporting illegal immigrants, and people call it thinking that it's legitimate. I talked to a kindergarten teacher that wants to deport the parents of a kindergartner at her school. And it looks like they have a child who was born in New York, which makes them an American citizen.
Yeah.
So we're looking to deport the parents and leave the child.
Right. Like I said, I don't know if they're here illegally. I just think it's odd, you know? It's very odd.
What did you say was odd?
It's just odd for them to even be here. Like, I'm a teacher at a school. Okay, I know schools. I know the whole law about schools. I mean, they seem like nice people or whatever, but I looked them up in our files, and I was like, oh, she was born in Honduras, and he's born in El Salvador. So right there, it's like, okay, maybe I'm on the right path. You know, they drop off their kid every day.
So their kid is their kid a student at your school?
Yes. Yes.
One of your
kindergarten.
Okay, so now you want to get his parents deported?
Well, I'm just saying that if they're taking up resources from our county,
okay.
I'm not into illegal people being here.
I mean, if the son's in kindergarten, what, is 6 or 7, right?
Yeah, he's probably like 5 or 6.
And he was born in New York, so that means, assumingly, they've been in America for 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
And now we're going to go ahead and just remove them.
Racism grows in a garden of stupidity and or ignorance. Stupidity is a choice. Ignorance is not. One thing that I say consistently here, it is never too late to learn something. If you don't know the processes of something, if you don't know how something works, it's okay to learn it. I cannot tell you how many times a day I am utterly frustrated at the conspiracy theories people come up with because they just don't know about something. It's not a part of their lived experience. They've never gone through it. They've never studied it. It's not a part of their career field. That's fine. But instead of learning how something goes, something has to be salacious. You can only get out, when it comes to the federal government, what you put in, with a few exceptions. The wealthy and the disabled. Because there are some people who have been so severely disabled since birth that there's really nothing that they can put in. So they're more reliant on their families putting in for them to draw out. And the wealthy, because I think it's egregious, the wealthy should not be able to draw from Social Security the way that they do. How do you have 50,000 investment accounts, but you are able to jump through the hoops and get Social Security checks, but Deborah down the street who truly needs it can't? But you want to know the biggest thing? Immigrants come into this country and immediately must pay taxes on multiple levels. They get very little return on that dollar. And should they choose to achieve citizenship, because some people are just here for a short time. They here for a little bit of a kind of sort of good time, and then they out for the long haul, okay? They don't get back pay off of what they've paid in this whole time. They contribute and help keep our economy afloat. They keep a lot of our industries afloat. But she's in there, oh, I don't think that they should be getting resources. I want you to think, if white people are still the majority in this country, how is everybody else getting all of these resources ahead of white people? If Black and brown people cannot walk through a store without it being assumed that we are poor, that we are stealing, how do you think we are gaming the system that is the federal government? Where does the kid go after the parents are deported? To work for one of the races. That's what they think in their mind. You have to realize the systems in the United States, as Lavert the Basement has said multiple times to y'all, everything here is rooted in racism. Hey, Glenda, everything has its starting point with racism. The foster care system. I know a lot of people try to give you all of these different histories of it. It started in order for white folks to still be able to enslave and get free labor out of Black children and Native children. So that's where they think. Just like they were okay, even the farmers and the construction company owners were like, yeah, I'm gonna vote. I saw all the mass deportation signs because they thought that the was getting back out there. They thought that, oh, the children, the anchor babies, quote unquote, will do the work. Let us not forget, because Taz Farms remembers, Republican states started rolling back the age for when a work permit is required, where children can work. We have children, minors, now doing hard labor in factories where they should not be working. They're now able to work overnight shifts. Harley, they're not about the children whatsoever. They're not about the children whatsoever. Let me take y'all down history lane real quick. This is another history with Taz, okay? When the parameters of slavery changed in the United States, you want to know what increased? Dog adoption, white people birth rates. birth rates in white people families started going into the double digits. I need y'all to think about how non-deconstructing white-bodied individuals talk about children. I'm not talking about Anglo-Saxons. I'm not talking about Caucasians. I'm talking about the people who proudly gave up all of their heritage and went to work. I do know child labor laws, and I do know the legislation that has changed in certain states, and that's what I was talking about. Somebody doesn't know how to freaking listen nor comprehend, but thank you for the engagement. They talk about their children as unpaid labor and the workforce. Because what's the first thing? Oh, you don't want to have children? Well, who's going to take care of you when you get old? It better be a nurse, Deborah. What makes you think that your children that you never help with homework are going to be able to take care of you, your gout, your diabetes, and your heart disease? Okay, let me break this down for you again. What's your name? Because I don't want to really call you dumb fuck, but that's what you are. Alejandro. In certain states, like one whose governor is a Huckabee, lowered the age and requirements. And right now, they're up to 7 brutal deaths because children have been gobbled up in machines and maimed and everything else. Because I know I'm killing you and angry right now. I said the no word. I didn't mean to. Because they've lowered it, and there are children who can work overnight. Once again, if you don't know something, you can take the time to educate yourself. But don't show up at my job and try to act like I'm bad at it, bitch. Like, just because your mama messed up and showed up at the date with a full stomach instead of having boneless baby children the way she was supposed to, does not mean that you should come over here and try to be my problem. I don't play with people's coitus coins. Now, back to what I was saying. Y'all sit there and look at me and go, she the girl, she gonna be nice. I can be nice. I can be kind. I never said I was benevolent. I tell y'all all the time, I'm not. I got 8 brothers. And I'm in love with a man who can cut his emotions off. I'm a Taurus raised by 2 crazy ass October Scorpios. And I'm barely medicated right now. Thank you, twin. All right. Okay. Let's go. Wait a minute. Back to my censor button. I won't say the no word again. All right. So, I think people have forgotten that's how non-deconstructing white-bodied individuals work. They don't care. Oh, your mama likes it too. She also likes to French kiss my clit. What's your point? I don't know why y'all show up here. Do you? Is it a kink for you to get your feelings hurt? Anywho, Septum ring theory in full effect. Yes, I'm very much so of legal age and smart. Short dick syndrome in full effect. What is wrong with y'all? Seems like stealing someone's culture, but what do I know? What, Drew? What culture am I stealing? Hey, honey. They think I'm nice.
True. Yeah, about 4 hours. I ain't even made $30. I'm not wasting no time in gas.
Okay. Damn, says I think you got some blood on skin. It happens. It happens. It happens. Hey, sis, hey, Dread. But yeah, bitch ass, come back. Whose culture am I stealing? Am I appropriating? Because I would love for you to explain to me what my culture is. Quickly. Hey, man, I like your wife's wig. And your mom likes my clit. Let's move along. Whose culture am I stealing? because I guess I was supposed to be offended. I'm supposed to be offended because even with the 2 brain cells in your head, they still keep missing each other. You can't get them to scissor for shit. Baby, I'm not for the weak. I'm also not for the stupid. So I'm going to need you to be a quicker and better troll. Come on. My trolls are usually better than this. My trolls are usually faster than this. Well, while you get that together, let's go over the breakdown of what ICE is up against. Because they're bitching and complaining. So.
Hey, ICE boys, I just wanted to fill you in on the repayment clause of the hiring bonus you may have gotten. Okay, so if you're in training to be an ICE boy, or maybe you already are, they got you with this $50K bonus. Well, actually, that's going to be broken down over 5 years, and you might get 10K this year, but after taxes, it's really going to be like 6K. And I don't know if you know how time works, but it keeps moving forward. It's 2026, 2027, 2028. We have an election, and, you know, your boys might not be in power by then. So they do have a repayment clause. This is put in by the people that hired you or putting you through training. If you quit or you're fired for literally any reason, you get to repay the full pre-tax amount of your bonus. So let's say they gave you 10K, you paid taxes, you only got this much. And let's say you got that for 3 years, and then there's an election and maybe you get fired. You're going to be on the hook for 30K plus interest with no option for bankruptcy because it's paying the government. You can't do, bankruptcy does not cover back taxes. It's not going to cover this. It's not going to cover anything that they give you. So just to let you know, 50K in your pocket may end up being negative 30, or it could be like negative 50K in your pocket with no option for bankruptcy. It's never going to go away. So if you're in training, you can quit now and you won't be on the hook for anything because you won't get your bonus. You won't have to repay anything. Either if you quit or you're fired for literally any reason. And then let's say you stick around, you get all the money. They're gonna make you pay it back, the full pre-tax amount. Okay, good luck. Oh,
let me also put this caveat in there. Because y'all know, politically, I'm nosy as hell. Okay? That's only good gossip. That's only good tea that I'm concerned about. Okay? Everything else, I don't care. If you do not have perfect reviews, they can let you go. If you and your supervisor bump heads, they can write you up. You get a write-up. You got to pay it back. Just like the 2 that were just outed for murdering Mr. Preddy, got to pay that back. Like, there are so many loopholes as to why they don't have to pay you, when you have to pay it back. And remember yesterday when we talked, I said this is a way of starting to trap white people, not Anglo-Saxons, not Caucasians, into a new version of chattel slavery. Because how many people told their spouses, oh, you can quit. We got this money plus this bonus. They're not getting paid. How long before the agents themselves start getting charged for room and board, transportation, gas, all these things? So then what happens? Same thing that happened during the days of Ben Franklin. Y'all remember when Ben Franklin's brother was like, hey, bitch, you got to go work hard for the money. And Ben was like, I ain't old enough to work. Bitch, we don't have minimum age and working at this time. Look around. I done sold you into indentured servitude. Go make me my money. His brother turned into Rihanna. He was like, bitch, better have my money. And Ben Franklin had to go out there. So how many of these kids, spouses, parents, etc., is going to have to go out, come out of retirement, and do some strains for some change to pay this off? Because, you know, Trump wants his money before he leaves office, whether he kicked the bucket, okay, whether there's going to be some slow singing and casket bringing, or a new election happens. But we know. And here's the thing, I don't know how many court documents you need. I don't know how many people you need to come out in the public and talk about this. I don't know how many convictions you need before you believe that anybody associated with Trump, including Trump, is going to scam you. They don't like to pay bills, not to mention folks from old money and folks trying to look like they're from old money. And I know this from hanging around them. Don't like to pay bills. They will rack up so many finance charges, so many late fees before they finally do it. Okay? Old money will borrow money from you that they know you need. Baby, let it go. Let it go. Okay? You're going to get evicted. You're going to be out on the curb before they pay you back. And it's not that they don't get it. They are so used to it that when they spend money, they're not responsible because they know if push comes to shove, they can go to the bank and save their ass. But also, when it comes to ice, baby, remember, Mr. They're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs who lived, no grip is tighter than that, right? Who lived in, was voted to represent the district that he was talking shit about, J.D. Vance. Well, now J.D. Vance explodes at New York Democratic Representative Jerry Nadler's openly calling for shooting ICE agents. J.D. Vance wasn't mad when he showed up and people were screaming and hollering at him about him screwing couches, chaise lounges, ottomans, lazy boys. Didn't say nothing about that. They called his wife and children everything but human. He wasn't mad about that. They made fun of him for having the strangest Timu Naruto run ever at Disneyland. Didn't get mad about that, but he mad about this. Baby, ain't nobody voting for you, Vance. Nobody really wanted to vote for you when you were just trying to work on Capitol Hill. But okay. I come from old, no money. Why are y'all like this? Why are y'all like this? Vice President J.D. Vance unloaded on New York Democratic Representative Jerry Nadler, openly calling for the shooting of ICE agents and other federal law enforcement officers. Jerry Nadler is one of the highest-ranking Democrats in the House of Representatives, and he is openly calling for people to shoot federal law enforcement. Vance posted on X Tuesday. Well, the President of the United States called for people to be hung, shot, tortured, you name it. The sitting president of the United States said that it was an honor and enjoyable to be raped by him. So I think we're just matching energy at this point. And I'm sorry, if you don't identify yourself and you don't have a warrant and you're not law enforcement, bitch, it's duck hunt season. What you mean? Woo-hoo. Let me explain something to you, okay? Let me explain something to you. I'm gonna whip your ass into shape. I'm gonna turn you into the Swiss cheese that's going on my pastrami. You understand me? Don't play with me. Let's not forget, it took 4 to 5 of these Fugazi agents to pull one disabled woman out of her car. I'm no American Gladiator, okay? I can hear you, sir. But I do liken myself to Indiana Jones. If you don't know what I mean, watch the movie. I'm gonna shoot you. Do I look like I'm about to tussle with you and get dirty and get sweaty? No. Absolutely not. Do I look like that? No. This is despicable behavior from an elected official, and I'm sure the left-wing media will cover it extensively. Shoot him. Hey, sis. Shoot him. This is the tyranny that is outlined in the Constitution. We're gonna be getting into a lot of history in 2026. I see. And since y'all don't want to take my class, y'all better buy some merch. Y'all better get some advertisement slots on GCPR. Speaking of which, if you are a small business owner or you would like to see your place of employment advertised on GCPR, please visit us at gcpr.live. That is gcpr.live, and click the icon that says advertise with us and make sure you get it done spectacularly. Okay? Okay. You're being taxed and not represented. You're being killed and hunted in the streets. Your president is telling the citizens of Iran to not stop protesting, to keep a list of government officials who are killing Iranian people because no citizen should be murdered by the hands of their own military. I want you to take that in. The United States has a long history of destabilizing other countries, and right now the United States is working on destabilizing itself. Get your well-trained, well-armed militia together. Because the don't tread on me, I can't wait for a Civil War 2.0. The South arrives again. You don't know nothing about guns. You libtards are quiet. They are out here feasting on boot soils. I have open discussions on race, and I teach history, and I have an adult history class every Saturday. Links are in my bio. And if you hate ICE as much as I hate ICE, there is new ICE merch. Link in bio. There are 2 promo codes out right now, one for free shipping, one for 20% off. BHM26, 20% off for Black History Month 26, and one for Love, 4LUV. Mwah! Free shipping. Thank you, April. So yeah. Of course I do, Swold. Of course I do. I didn't. Pretty sure I got like 3 aunts that would take a trip here just to whoop me, or send an email to the big guy to sit me in timeout. That's a very succinct way of phrasing it. Hey, I mean, I like ice in my juice too, cause yeah. You in America now? When was I not in America as an adult? Where was I 5 minutes ago? I'm in the United States. I'm within the confines of one of the Americas. Come on, trolls. Get it together. I expect better of you trolls, okay? Come on. Come on. Y'all are usually better than this. Racist. No, I'm not for Taz. Yes. The racist type of day. The trolls y'all are usually better than this. Are y'all sleepy? Did you not get a good nap? Did you take your vitamins? Did you have coffee this morning? Are you low on touching cooter biscuit? Is that what it is? You ain't touched no cooter biscuit in a while, or nobody touched your cooter biscuit. Is that what it is? Oh, shuck it, duck, quack, quack. They're still hungover. Yeah, it seems like it. It must have been an must have been an Everclear night. So, also, Mamdani is quietly planning to endorse Governor Holcomb's re-election. This would be providing her a critical inroad with progressive voters in New York, which is always a plus. Infernal. Cooter biscuits do come in Reese's. We won't discuss how I know. I just know. Look at him. Yes. We broadcast across multiple platforms. Mandolin butter on my Cooter biscuit. Lord. Yeah. Oh my good Lord. Oh my good Lord. Okay. Y'all remember, because Taz Farms remember, when Rafael Cruz claims he had a little faux pas talking about pedophiles? Well, much like my disdain for him, the comments have resurfaced in lieu of the latest document drop in regards to the Epstein/Maxwell files. And to stay up to date with the latest and the greatest, you can check out the Epstein/Maxwell files playlist at TazJ77 on YouTube. But coming from the Mirror US, Ted Cruz's pedophiles mistake resurfaces yet again in light of Epstein files release. A resurfaced clip of Ted Cruz asking the public to stop attacking pedophiles has people mocking the Texas senator in light of the release of the Epstein files. Don't stop mocking him, bully him into retiring. Don't stop harassing him. Maybe he'll go find his chin.
I can see you.
Because you're watching from the other room. The other room. Also ain't stupid. After the second release, I better quit before he gets a chair and sits in here and really is a studio audience. After the second release of Epstein files, many more shocking and explicit revelations have come to light about who pedophile Jeffrey Epstein was connected with. While investigations remain ongoing, questions remain about how such powerful people were allowed to continue their abuse for so long. Well, first of all, you'd have a better understanding if you followed my series, Learning Through Literature, because we're going through Virginia Roberts Giuffre's memoirs, Nobody's Girl, which is giving us great insight into that. But two, are y'all forgetting that Jeffrey Epstein had a whole island to do this stuff on? And how secure his residences were? Like, he bought and renovated these residences for the sake of being able to do this. That's why. They weren't just traipsing out in the open doing all of these things. They were very specific and strategic with the placement of these things. That's why. That's why. Where's Holly the little heathen? She's just, oh, because he's home. She ain't gonna come in here. She ain't gonna pay me no attention. She ain't gonna come in here. Plus, she mad because I couldn't sleep in the wee hours of the morning. I came downstairs and I woke her up, so she done had attitude since then. She ain't. Pretty sure if her paws could manage it, she would flip me off. Huh? I don't know what he said. Y'all know what he said? You had an attitude too. I'm sorry. Are you over your little attitude now? What will it take for you to get over your little attitude? You need Jesus. What I look like, Alka-Seltzer? He's a Republican Texan with the kind of Mexican last name. Rafael he's is he Cuban? I believe he is, because he lied about how his father got here, when he got citizenship, and everything else. But hold on, let me verify. Oh, sheesh, that is a interesting. Yeah, Cuban. I thought so. Cuban. That's Cuban. And for people who don't like to go by Rafael Cruz, they keep naming kids Rafael. Eventually Canadian Cuban, but they're Cuban, Winston. They eventually went through Canada and then got through to the United States. And that's part of what he lied about when he came to his father. But yeah, Canada was just essentially a pit stop for them. Big baby. Big old baby over there. All right. Now, as we're wrapping things up here, do not forget, tonight, if you like to partake in the wacky tobacco, make sure you tune in on the GCPR YouTube channel for Growls High Exalted with the highest band of intellects you'll find anywhere, on or off, radio or the internet. Because they do tackle some pretty complex topics while high off their ass. I will see you all later on TikTok at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central for the continuation of Learning Through Literature, Nobody's Girl, the memoir of Virginia Roberts Giuffre. Also later tonight on GCPR is Conversations with T. Nathan. I will see you all twice tomorrow. You excited? You better be excited. You will start the day. We're a dichotomy. You got that right, sweet. Y'all are a dichotomy. Y'all are going to get a double dose of Taz tomorrow. You'll be starting your day off in the sound of coffee with Taz for Truth for Thursdays with Taz-tastic herself. And then, of course, midday, I will be back for the Taz Effect to bring you more news in a way you did not know you could use. Now, as always, I keep telling y'all, don't make me your dirty little secret. I'm not your mistress, okay? I am your main squeeze when it comes to news. So take me around the family, introduce me to the friends, bring them on over, okay? Let's have a big old block party together, okay? So when I see you tomorrow, you're bringing somebody with you, right? Because I'm nobody's secret. This ain't escape. You're not my little secret. I'm not your little secret. All right? All right. And as always, thank you, guys. As always, once again, if you are a small business owner or you would just like to hear or see your place of employment advertised on GCPR all across our multiple platforms, make sure you visit us at gcpr.live. That is gcpr.live. Click advertise with us and go ahead and get it done. If you want something a little bit more intricate or you just want to be involved with particular shows, you can email us at gcprprod@gcpr.live, and that's gcprprod@gcpr.live. As always, each one teach one, each one reach one. Remember, don't do anything that requires bail, not in this economy. And most importantly, keep in mind, it only requires bail should you get caught. Till later, y'all.